Running a small business can be overwhelming with so many responsibilities to juggle. Managing costs is one of the biggest challenges, but the good news is that you don't have to sacrifice quality to save money. Today I'm sharing 10 creative ways to cut expenses featuring smart strategies and products that can help you stay within budget. Packaging is one of the biggest expenses for many small businesses. It's not just about protecting your products, but it's also about making a great impression on your customers. High quality packaging doesn't have to break the bank. By choosing smarter, more cost-effective solutions, you can reduce your expenses while still delivering a professional branded experience. So tip number 1 is to do with packaging. The best way to save money on packaging is by buying plain packaging in bulk, such as pip boxes, small parcel boxes, mailing bags and envelopes, be that board-backed envelopes or standard envelopes, to save on your base costs. Getting custom printed packaging works out very expensive, and I'm talking sort of £3-4 per box when you buy 250 as well, so you have to buy quite a lot to get the price per box down, and it works out just as expensive for mailing bags and envelopes as well. The best way to save on these is by using stickers to brand plain packaging. By using branded stickers, you can add a professional and personalised touch to your packaging. You can customise it for seasonal promotions, special events, without having to buy new packaging. They're so versatile that, you could use standard logo stickers so that you can use them on other things such as your products packaging themselves, in all sorts of different ways really. You can use stickers for box seals, you can use stickers for, labels on the top of the parcels. I use branded stickers to say that things are fragile. I use branded stickers to say things like your allergen labels are here, things like that. So there's so much more versatility with stickers, whereas if you had that printed directly onto your packaging, you would need to then buy several versions of each type of packaging. So you would have a box, for example, that says Merry Christmas, and then you'd have one that says Happy Easter. It's just not viable and it's not cost effective. So this kind of approach is also ideal for small businesses that ship products of various sizes, so you don't then need to customise packaging for each item. You can just use the same stickers or even different stickers. It's just still going to work out a lot cheaper for you. Tip number 2 is to buy those stickers in bulk. For example, I sell logo stickers or just sticker sheets in general, depending on the finish, etc., from around 85p per sheet. If you was to buy one sheet 100 times, you'd be spending £85 plus postage and packaging. However, if you buy 100 sheets at once, I sell those for £46. So, you're saving nearly 50%, obviously plus your £3 postage and packaging. But it still works out a lot cheaper to buy 100 sheets at a time than it does to buy 100 sheets or one sheet 100 times. So that is what's known as tiered pricing. So the more you buy, the less each sheet of stickers costs. That pretty much goes for everything across our shop. I try to make it more cost effective for other businesses, and it's also easier for me because it means I'm not setting a file up to do one sheet. I'm setting a file up to do 100 sheets. It just makes it more worth it for me. I don't mind doing the one sheet. I don't have a minimum order quantity, but it just makes things easier for both parties. Stocking up on stickers as well also reduces the frequency of ordering, obviously, and saves on shipping fees. So if you're paying, like I said, I've just realised I've been filming this whole time without my wide angle lens on. Let's put that back on, shall we? So yeah, if you're buying one sheet at 85p plus £3 postage 100 times, that's gonna add up quite quickly. Whereas if you're buying 100 sheets for £46, you then only pay one shipping fee, so you're saving a lot of money on shipping. The great thing about stickers as well is, specifically us at Hoppity Designs, we can completely customise the stickers to suit you. So we can do custom shapes, custom sizes, all the way up to sort of A3 sizes. So there's quite a wide range of versatility there. The options are endless, really. You could also consider investing in multi-purpose stickers that can be used like on your packaging as well as product labels. For example, if you just had some stickers with just your logo on, nice and plain, you could use them on packaging for products products, as well as shipping packaging. Tip number 3 is switching to thinner thank you cards. So we offer 2 main different thicknesses. The majority of people tend to go for thicker cards. However, thank you cards don't need to be thick to make an impact. Thinner cards can still look professional. The thinner cards also are more lightweight, so they save on mailing costs, because if you've got something that weighs nothing basically, and then you're adding a thick card that might weigh a couple of grams, that might be just a couple of grams enough to push you over to sort of from letter to large letter, and that is quite a big difference in cost at the moment, especially with Royal Mail just keep putting their prices up. So thinner thank you cards will save on weight and help you save on packaging. I actually use thinner cards for my thank you cards, and although I have printed on them upside down, they're still pretty high quality and they still make the impact that I want them to make. So, and again, with thank you cards you can opt for a design that complements your branding to reinforce the brand identity, because brand identity is absolutely massive. You want people to remember you. Obviously my memorable thing is bright pink and rabbits, so all of my stuff has bright pink and the rabbit element built into it. If you take my thank you cards, the ones we're using at the minute are Merry Christmas as in my branding font, and then on the back we've got Bonnie and Hallie in their little Christmas outfits, and it's all in my fonts and my colours to recognisable as Hoppity designs. Tip number 4 is opt for smaller flyers or leaflets and thank you cards. Do you need an A6 thank you card? Do you need an A5 flyer? Review the content. Is all of the information necessary? Can you condense it to fit on a smaller size? Smaller leaflets and flyers such as A7 or even A6 are more cost effective and just as impactful for promotions. At the end of the day, it's not like a poster where it's going to be on a wall and people are going to see it from afar. They're going to have these flyers in their hand. They're up close to them, so that people will be able to read it much easier because it's in front of them. They're also easier for customers to carry around, which increases the likelihood of them wanting to keep them. Have you ever been to an event where they give you like an A4 flyer and you're like, well, what do I do with this now? I'm just gonna have to fold it and put it in my pocket, and then you forget about it or you put it down. What do you do with an A4 leaflet? Sometimes even A5 is too big, especially at events. So if you're at an event where you're walking around all day, you don't want to clog your pockets or your bags with A5 flyers. So switching to A7 or A6, use it double-sided if you can. If you want to, if your budget allows, then that can really help with the likelihood of people wanting to keep them and read them later. You can also maximise the impact of using a smaller space by using QR codes and bold visuals. You don't obviously want something with a lot of detail on a smaller flyer, but you could use, like I say, QR codes and just have like a little like header and just say something like nice little catchphrase just to catch their attention, and then scan here to find more information. That will then get more visitors to your website. And like I say, it maximises the impact of the smaller space, so you then don't need to clog it up with information. Just use the keywords, key phrases to get people's attention wanting to read more. Now for tip number 5, we're moving on to clothing. So clothing is something that I offer. We do printed and embroidered clothing, so I have obviously experience in both areas. Buy your clothing in bundles. It brings down the price per item, sometimes quite drastically as well. We have some bundles that are like £120 normally, that down to about £80, so you get quite a good saving there. They're all available on the website if you wanted to go and have a look. There are embroidered and printed bundles. Yeah, so the bundle deals obviously reduce the cost per item, which also makes it better for fitting teams or several employees, or if you've got friends and family that want some branded clothing as well. Often families like to support smaller businesses like that, then it's going to work out cheaper to use a bundle. Even if you're buying for yourself, consider a bundle, because then you've got spares. So like for example, we've got bundles that's like 1 hoodie and 2 t-shirts, meaning that you've got a change of t-shirt for events, especially if you're doing like 2-day events. We also do like 2 hoodies, 3 t-shirts, and there's some with aprons and stuff in if you're a baker, things like that, or even a beautician, therapist, anything like that, anyone that might want an apron. You can also use branded clothing for giveaways. Buying a bundle like that makes it cheaper for you, so you could, for example, if you went for a bundle that includes 2 hoodies, 3 t-shirts, you could then give away a hoodie and t-shirt as a bit of a promotional giveaway. And off the back of that, tip number 6 is choosing printed over embroidered for one-off orders. So embroidered clothing is a very, very, very worthwhile investment. I will always recommend embroidered clothing over printed. But if your budget doesn't allow and you're buying one hoodie and you don't think you'll ever want another one, printed is the way to go. It's a much cheaper investment. They're quicker to produce, so it's ideal for urgent orders as well. They're generally less expensive up front compared to embroidery. Like I say, embroidery is much more durable, so I always recommend that. But if your budget doesn't allow, then you only want it for sort of a promotional item or for short-term use, then printed is a better choice. However, if you're going for a hoodie or a t-shirt or an apron and you think you're going to want more, or your team is going to expand and you might want more in the future, then I highly recommend embroidery, because the setup fee is a one-time cost. So for example, I charge £20 for embroidery setup, so it's £20 per design. That will only ever need paying once unless you change the design. So if I was to get my main logo, which is this, on a hoodie, I would pay Opta Designs £20 to have that set up plus the cost of the clothing. Then next time I want to order, I wouldn't pay that setup, I would just pay the cost of the clothing. So it works out cheaper in the long run, and it also lasts a hell of a lot longer. Embroidery doesn't really have a limit on its lifespan depending on how you look after it, whereas printed, obviously the more you wash it, and especially if you tumble dry it, it's not going to last long at all. I do try to use the best quality DTF that I have available to me. I do everything I can to make sure that they last longer, but it's just the nature of printed clothing is just not long term. Tip number 7 is one of my favourite tips, and that is searching for second-hand supplies. Utilise your marketplaces like eBay, Facebook, Vinted for businesses selling off unused supplies. As sad as it is, small businesses are closing here, there and everywhere every day. They always have materials, packaging supplies they are not going to use, and they're going to want to recoup their costs. Now, you'll find some people will either sell them for what they paid for them, or they'll want them gone, and if you're lucky, you'll find the people that want them gone and you will pay next to nothing for these supplies. So search for items like bubble wrap, boxes, shelving even at discounted prices. Utilise what you have literally at the end of your fingertips, because I bought about 50 pip boxes on Vinted a couple of weeks ago for about £5. £4 I think it was, plus postage, which is a bargain. So definitely utilise online marketplaces for second hand. Not even second hand, it's just sort of unused supplies. Attend local auctions or liquidation sales to find deals on bulk items or equipment. So last year I went to a local shop that was shutting down and I got some metal clothes racks they use in shops and stuff for like £10, and they're normally like tens and hundreds of pounds even. So jump on the bandwagon. You might not be that big yet, but you're gonna want these at some point. Get what you can. Don't pass up a good offer like that, but don't be like me and buy too much and not know where to store it. I will say though, be mindful when buying second-hand equipment of the condition of the items. Some might need a little TLC, but you can always go and have a look and say no thank you if you don't want it. But yeah, second-hand is the way to go. It also saves waste. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there have been things that sometimes I thought to myself, I should really sell this. I could, someone will want this, but I've not had the time or the space to store it, so it's just gone in the bin. Or I've given it away to somebody on Facebook. Just always keep an eye out. Look on local pages like sale and swap sites and free sites. There's hundreds of them on Facebook. You never know what you might find. Tip number 8 is using single-sided business cards or flyers. A single-sided design can still look professional and include all the key information, and it saves on your costs. What more could you want? I'll be honest, I don't need a double-sided business card. On one side is just my logo. I print them myself, so I guess it's a bit cheaper for me, but you could do without that. That could be plain. That side says everything. It will save on your printing costs, and you've still got all the information on there. It's just on one side. Also, not many people actually, when you get a business card or a thank you card in a package, not many people will go, oh yeah, what's on the side? And they'll more than likely go, oh yeah, in a bin. The cheaper you can get those items, the better, because otherwise you just throw money in the bin or down the drain. and no one wants to do that, especially this day and age. Another option is with thank you cards. I've got a flyer here that I picked up at the Merrymakers Market the other day, and I'll show you in a second, but if it was a thank you card, you could use the back of it to write your own little note to your customers. So my previous thank you cards, I had a design on one side, and on the front I'd have like, thank you for your order, here's a discount code, but at the top I'd have space to write their name. Well, you could do it so that on one side you have all of your information. So this is a random flyer, it's not a thank you card, but it gives you an example. This is from the Bomber County benches. You've got all that information on one side, and on the back it's blank, and you could write, hello Helen, thank you for your order, it means a lot to us, lots of love Chloe, you know, that kind of thing. You can add your own personalised touch that way then, and then you'd be able to simplify your design by prioritising logos, contact details and calls to action, such as please leave a review or send an email, etc, etc. Tip number 9 is invest in generic banners for events. So rather than on your banner have something like 2 for 1 on greeting cards, just have your logo, your business contact information, where they can find you, what you do. That will make it versatile for any event. Then you won't rock up at an event, because I've been with my sister when she's done this. You'll rock up to an event and you'll go, oh, I've only got this banner and it's got the wrong pricing on, or I've only got this roller banner and I've changed my style since then. Make it versatile, make it generic, make it last. That way, if you're going to use it time and time again, you can then invest that little bit more and get durable materials, so the banner will last longer for multiple uses in multiple events, multiple weather conditions. And then you also haven't got to worry about making sure you have packed the right banner, or when you get there searching through all the tens of banners you've got because you don't know which one you need. And it will also save you time and money. Another option you could do is leave a space. I've actually had a customer do this. What she did was change something on the banner, and instead of ordering a whole new banner, she just put some Velcro on it and ordered a tiny little banner that fit in the space, and put Velcro on the back of that and stuck that to the new banner, or the old banner, sorry, in that space. So what you could do is leave space for attachable details. So if you know you're going to change your prices, or you're putting a discount code on there, such as shop online with code Merrymakers Market, then you can change that code, but you've only got to change that small panel on the banner. So you could put Velcro on the banner, Velcro on the back of the mini banner, and you can customise it for certain occasions. It still can work out expensive, but it's cheaper than buying a whole new banner every time, and then if you don't use that banner again, you've wasted 40-50 quid instead of only spending £10-20 on a smaller banner that you might use again. And then on the back of that, tip number 10 is, if you are going to have specific details on your banners but you don't want to use the Velcro panels and buy little banners, you can use cheap posters. So most posters, or most places, I specifically do offer this, but most places will offer like a cheaper poster that isn't built to last, or isn't meant for outside use, or just a budget poster, and you could use that and put all of your specific information on there, and then afterwards you can get rid of it. Posters are cheaper and quicker to create than banners for specific promotions and events. You can experiment with thinner materials and smaller sizes to bring down the printing costs even more. They can be displayed in multiple places, offering greater visibility than a single banner, and you can get them done in bulk. So we can print posters up to sort of A0. Like with everything, the pricing is tiered, so the more you buy, the more you save per poster. There you have it, 10 creative ways to cut costs and save money for your small business, while still delivering a professional and memorable experience for your customers. Small changes can make a big difference, and with the right strategies, you can keep your budget on track without compromising on quality. If you're looking for affordable solutions like packaging, stickers, branded clothing, or business stationery, then please check out my website, www.hoptydesigns.co.uk. Let's make saving money simple and stylish for your business. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more tips.